Hello, Madonna fans and friends, and welcome to a review today. I'm a little late to the party, and I apologize for that. But before I get into it, I just want to acknowledge, especially after the really powerful post from Madonna about World AIDS Day. Hopefully, you've had a chance to check it out on social media, but it's really a travesty that we are not acknowledging it anymore. I don't know when that happened, but I heard it on the news, and it's shocking to me. It's already hard enough to battle these diseases without having that in the mix. And so politics aside, we really need to stand strong and continue to put the awareness out for World AIDS Day, and it's going to always be there. We're always going to acknowledge it, regardless of what anyone thinks. But today we are reviewing the Bedtime Stories, the Untold chapter. Um, November 28th, Black Friday, we got the release digitally, as well as in some stores. There's the vinyls are showing up. I wish that the CDs were showing up, but I haven't heard about that yet. Meanwhile, I went ahead and listened to it, and I wanted to give you my thoughts. And I already think this is eons more exciting than Veronica Electronica. Not to take away from Veronica Electronica, but this is giving us a lot of stuff we haven't heard before. Demos, giving us some kind of insight into what the process of the Bedtime Stories album might have been like. Um, and it starts off with Survival, the demo of forgetting the name of it now. Excuse me. I thought I had a really cool name for the demo mix, but it's not in front of me right now. But Survival is one of my favorite songs on the album, so I was very excited to see this included. And the differences that this one has versus the other one, I really enjoyed those differences. I mean, I'm pretty married to the original or the final version, as you know. That's one of my favorites, but this one definitely gives us some a different perspective, different insights into what they were working on. I liked what MLVC podcast had to say about the production, and the creep aspect of it. Now, I was working in the music store when this album came out, and Crazy Sexy Cool was like one of our biggest selling albums that we sold at all. I mean, it was like every other person had that was buying that. So to hear that there was some elements of that in the process and production, thanks to MLVC for shedding light on that with Dallas Austin, that was really interesting to me because they were all kind of working together at the time, and you could hear a lot of these influences on many of the albums that were coming out around that time. Then we get Secret, the All Star remix. I've always loved this remix. I think it's just so much fun from it. Whenever I first heard it on the Secret CD single, and it was one of my favorites just because it had that style to it, and so it's good to hear it included. And then I think Right on Time is right after that. Of course, the new track, and I already mentioned that I like this one very much. So um, it's great. It has a lot of aspects of the rest of the production, and but it's the one complaint is it's kind of short. I don't have some of the songs on here. I'm still working with what I have because unpacking is still haven't gotten to all the CDs. In case you're wondering about that, but I really do like Right on Time. I did talk about it in the short when it first came out and we first heard it. So yeah, that one is a great track. It's great to hear something new. And then after that, what was after that? Uh, I know that I'm blanking. In the order that it was going in. I want to say it was. Oh crap, I can't remember. Well, we'll just talk about what I remember. Some of the other tracks I remember. Human Nature remix. Of course, we are getting the Howie T remix. It's some of these are edited just like Finally Enough Love, so it's shorter. I really like that one too. Was that with the Nine sample? Howie T remix with 9 sample is what I'm remembering because I used to look at all these remixes and I was a remix freak. So I always was checking everything out. And I really do like that version of it. So I'm glad it made it on here versus the club mixes. I think most of this is to really give the authentic style of the Bedtime Stories album and its original production and the R&B flavors. So we're not seeing a lot of club cuts here, which I think is nice because it does give us a sense of how it was put together in the production. But let us know what you think. And now I might have been out of order, but of these tracks that I just mentioned, do you have a favorite in that group? Do you like the new song? Do you like some of the demos like Survival? Which one is standing out for you? Of course, this song is not included in the Untold chapter, but we kind of figure with that direction that it's going in with R&B, we're not going to hear Bjork on here. But I'm using this as a background because I do not have my album out or any of that stuff right now. It's still stuck in boxes. But let's continue. Let's talk about more of the tracks on here. We do get some of the outtake tracks. Um, of course, one of my favorites is Freedom. And I was mentioning this in the podcast when I commented that, at least for me, I had never heard this version of Freedom with the extended lyrics. I think that I got a copy of it on a CD years and years and years ago, like everyone else we heard it. And it was shortened. It just had a few lines in it, and I didn't hear that extra stuff. So I was kind of with my mouth hanging open when Freedom was playing, and I was like, when did this happen? You know? But apparently, that a lot of people have heard this version already. It's probably online and I just missed it. So Freedom was a standout for me, maybe by accident, but I really liked that. And of course, Let Down Your Guard, which I've also heard many, many, many years ago and got a copy. And it's nice to just hear it in a much more vibrant format, where you could really hear it. It's not really tinny and like this is downloaded, we can't really hear it right. So that's the quality that I really liked hearing on both of those tracks. And then um, now my brain is trying to remember because there's 8 tracks. Why am I blanking? Um, Let me see. So Secret, we talked about that. Oh, Don't Stop. How could I forget Don't Stop? I've always loved this track on Bedtime Stories. It's such a fun dance track, but this one is great. It gives us a sense again of the production, the process to get to that point, and more of the funkier elements that I think, she initially was going for with a lot of these tracks. Even listening to Freedom, we hear that there's a lot more funk in this album, but maybe they wanted to make it more cohesive because they're going to add in Bjork and some songs that don't quite fit the funk in order to bring it fit the funk. That sounds like a cool title. But elements that were going to change in the second side of the album. And I think that's why they kind of smoothed it out a bit, made it a little bit more like you could see it going from the funkiness of tracks like Human Nature and some of the other, earlier tracks on the album. I'd Rather Be Your Lover, to get to Love. I think Love Tried to Welcome Me was a great segue because it certainly wasn't funky, but it wasn't what we were about to listen to with Sanctuary and Bedtime Story. So I think there was a thought like, okay, we have these kind of songs and we have these kind of songs. Let's see how we can bring them together and make it somehow cohesive. And so Don't Stop Mix was great demo to kind of hear that funkier vibe. And then finally, Love Won't Wait. And I was hearing on MLVC podcast that this was not a good quality copy of this. Some people are unhappy. Um, they feel that they had a better version online and that this was a little bit not quite to the level. So I'll have to listen to that again. I wasn't really checking for that when I listened, but Love Won't Wait is a beautiful track. I'm glad that she had her own version, just like Each Time You Break My Heart. So we could see where she was going with it, even though it was done by Gary Barlow later on, and he did the single. So I just want to say, overall, um, it's a great collection. We get 8 tracks, and in those 8 tracks, we get some demos, we get a new song, we get some of the songs we've heard before, but they're in better quality. Maybe not Love Won't Wait, but for the most part, I'm definitely more interested even now to listen after listening to it to purchase the 2 CD set because I would love to have this in my collection. I think, unlike Veronica Electronica, this one it really does hold up. It is an untold chapter. It does give us some insight, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the 8 tracks? Do you have any standouts in it? Do you have any criticisms in it? Do you have what would you have liked to have seen as well that was not included in this? Maybe there'll be a second chapter or a third chapter. We never know how this is going to roll out with being with Warner Brothers. It could be that we get a lot more if we respond positively and we get it in the charts or we get it out there and people are selling it's selling very well, then maybe we could see more of the same. So we have to watch those stats. But again, it is very exciting. Now I was working in the music store. I was what was I, 22 or 23, working in the music store, Musicland, and when this came out, and so I have a lot of fond memories of this time. And it's good to see it getting the recognition it deserves. So thank you, guys. I'm sorry about the audios. I don't have all my stuff out. I haven't unpacked, or the box with all the CDs is not here. Well, it's here, but it's not unpacked. So I'm working with what I have, but I'm just very excited to share this with you. I'm very excited to review this with you guys, and I can't wait to hear your reviews, what you think. And again, thank you so much for being a part of our community. And make sure you check out our Facebook group, Madonna Everybody Fan Club, if you're over there, and as well as here. And so we'll see you later on. Bye. Dance and sing, get up and do your thing. Thank you for joining us here at Madonna Everybody Fan Club channel, and I hope you enjoyed our latest video. I hope that you will join us here by liking and subscribing. And also, we have social media with Facebook. We have Madonna Everybody Fan Club, over 5,000 Madonna fans to join. And we have an Instagram at Madonna EFC. So make sure you check those out, as well as a page on Facebook, Madonna Everybody Fan Club, to follow. So definitely check out those social media platforms and join us there. We have contests, we have Fan of the Month, and we have features and lots of great fans to meet. But more importantly, we'd love to hear from you. Make sure you comment on this video and let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or any future video topics you'd like to see. And thank you again for joining our Madonna family. Music does make the people come together. Thanks, everyone.